briefly to drugs. Is it absolutely essential that rock and rollers need drugs? Does it absolutely have to?
Well, yes.
Okay.
Not really, no. It's a funny thing. It's a personal thing. You know, evidently, you don't need them. I was doing all that stuff before I was even in a band. So it wasn't like I'd arrived in London, got the fur coat and the guitar and the shades, and someone handed me a big bag of drugs and said, off you go. I was doing that anyway. So when you become a rock star and you have money and a big house, you know, you tend to stay in and you get bored. But there came a point for me in 1998. I went to bed one night thinking, this is the greatest thing ever. I am living the dream. I'm like the new Keith Richards. And I woke up the next morning and thought, this is boring. I hate all these people. I went out on a night out in London and just looked around the people I was with and I thought, I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like your missus. I've never liked you. I don't even know what I'm doing with all these people. I'm not doing it anymore. And I've never done it since.
Was it easy to stop?
No, because trying to kick illegal drugs leads you to prescription drugs. And they're worse, because you can get those, and you're not breaking the law. And people, doctors, are quite willing, they'll sell you anything, if you've got the money.
And when you were on all that stuff, did it improve your creativity or your musicianship?
Not in the slightest.
No, not in the slightest?
Not in the slightest.
Why do they always think it does? And it.
Well, we were doing I've got to say, we were doing the wrong drugs. We were doing the one that's historically known to destroy any creativity. There are psychedelic drugs that evidently helps, you know. Sgt. Pepper's wasn't made on drinking tea, was it? But everything that we ever did when we were in the studio, out of it, late at night, thinking, this is better than the Beatles. This is better than the Beatles. Wait till you hear this. You get up the next day and listen to it when you were straight and you go like that. Oh, that's diabolical. That is diabolical. And you'd have to quickly wipe the tapes and pretend it never happened.
The high that you get from whatever it is you're on, does it equal the high that you get from going on stage in Slane or Main Road or Croke Park or whatever?
There's nothing, and I've done it all, and you've got to trust me on this, there's nothing in the world that when you walk out on a stage, before you've even played a note, you've only got to put your arms out like that. And that's it. Game over. Can't beat that.
Are we talking to you at a good time in your life? You have Sarah and you have Sonny and Donovan, and it looks like you have a marital harmony and a nice family. You're a father of 3.
Yeah.
All of that. Is this a good time for you?
Mustn't forget the girl, Anais.
Yes,
She
Anais.
killed me. But, yeah, you talked to me at the best time. Yeah, the best time.
Best time?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it was my first wedding anniversary about a week ago. Although we've been together for like 12 years. And my wife is still my best friend in the world. I still love her dearly. We've reached a point now where we're not trying for any more children. We've done all that.
And who has the responsibility in your house of teaching whatever religious faith there may be getting taught?
Well, I guess the kids will do it at school, so it's the teacher's responsibility. And then, I guess if they're inquisitive about it in the home, I guess it's probably best if they speak to Sarah first, you know. But we've not reached that stage yet, with the boys anyway.
But with the 12-year-old...
My daughter believes in the right things. She adores. I remember once, she freaked out when there was I went to flush a spider down the sink. She freaked out. She was like, to kill a living thing and all that. It kind of took me back a little bit. But they believe in, as long as they believe in all the right things, and being overtly religious or non-religious doesn't really... Whatever they believe in is fine. I'd rather them come to their own conclusions than me say one thing or another to them. Because nobody taught me anything. I learned it all for myself, you know. But if they ask, of course, you've got to give them your advice, you know. But it's only advice. You can't force an opinion on anybody.
By the way, going back to all the trauma between you and Liam, and it went on and on and on, did Peggy get involved?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, no, actually not. She never takes sides.
But she tried to sort it out, presumably.
Well, this Christmas just gone, she said, I've told him to call you, and I'm telling you to call him. So it's about time you spoke. And we exchanged texts on Christmas Day and stuff like that. Liam doesn't have a phone because he's always losing them. So you've got to text his missus's phone. And we were never a Christmas Day kind of family anyway.
Do you miss him?
No, I don't. No, I'm not that kind of person, to be quite honest. I'm not wistful, and I'm not nostalgic. And, if I hear Oasis songs on the radio, I don't, think, oh, God, wouldn't that be great? Evidently, it would be great. But, I'm always one for just moving onwards.
As we speak, you're going on Croke Park tonight. Do you feel nervous about tonight?
I've never felt nervous. I felt... In Oasis, I always used to feel a little bit anxious because you never quite knew what Liam was going to do. He could walk on stage and walk straight past the mic and just think, I'm not into it tonight, and just, for whatever reason.
The tension must have been colossal.
Yeah, but that's what made it what it was, and people knew that. But when I go on at festivals or at my shows, the people are there to see me, and there's only one person here today who's an expert at being me, and that's me. So I can't fail. I can sing, I can play, my band are great, I write songs that they all love. That's it. I never think this is just another gig. It's like people have paid money to see it. You better be good.
You're never afraid of making a mistake playing or forgetting the words? Or...
I mean, I do forget the words sometimes. But, a quick la-di-da will get you through that. Luckily for me, I write songs that people like to sing. So they're too busy singing anyway,
Right.
But now with the advent of YouTube and all that, you can get found out. People will say, have you seen that thing on YouTube of you forgetting the words to Don't Look Back in Anger? And you'll be like, I thought I got away with that.
Come back now to the last few questions. What about God? Would you describe yourself as believing in God or not at the moment?
Again, it's a complicated thing because I believe in the power of love and humanity and real things. If you're asking me, do I see the hand of God at work in the world, I'd have to say no. For the simple reason that if God as a real thing exists, with all the things over the last decade that have been terrorism and wars are fought in his name or in its name, they've all got different names for their gods, but seemingly it's the same thing. But all the people that have died, the innocent people that have died, all around the world, terrorism, in the name of God, wouldn't you think now would be the right time for some kind of global sign? I live in the here and now, and I'll go back to what I said at the beginning. I wish I believed in that, you know what I mean? And I know people that believe in it strongly, and I envy them in a way.
For a fellow who doesn't believe in God, however, said he,
I do write about it a lot.
Carry us all, gas panic, the Hindu, little by little, dig out your soul. For a fellow who doesn't believe in God, you certainly carry on a fair bit of...
Well, it's a great imagery. I mean, God, you know, God... There's a line in one of the songs off my latest record, and it's a song that I wrote about my wife, and it says, "You're the only God I'll ever need." If I do believe in God, I believe it's here, somewhere, in everybody. And when I mention God and angels and all that seemingly biblical stuff in songs, my wife is an angel to me, and a real one, because she appeared out of the smoke in a nightclub when I was at my lowest, and I've never looked back since then. And to me, she is an angel. But she's not a heavenly body, she's real, I can touch her, do you know what I mean? And I do, regularly, and it's great. And for me, not for her. And God is in me, I think, and God is in her, and God certainly is in my children, you know. I believe in love more than anything else in the world, and if love is divine, great. But I believe that humans generate love, you know what I mean? The meaning of life for me is watching your kids grow up and watching them go from in loads of different stages, you know, and growing with your wife is the meaning of life, I think, you know, and just the day-to-day, the trip of life. You know, some people live their life, they worry about the destination. Where is it going to be? What is, you know, they worry about where they're going. I enjoy the trip. You get wherever you're going is where you'll end up. Don't worry about that. Enjoy the scenery on the way.
What do you think Jesus was?
Well, I don't know. Jesus, if it's to be believed, was maybe the first rock star. He had his band, 12 of them, and he had followers, and I guess the words of Jesus, if they are to be believed, really is just the preaching of right and wrong, you know, and all the things that you should feel if you're a civilized human being, do you know what I mean? But there's a lot of stuff in the Bible, and I was taught it at school, that is just, you know, it's all people flying out of clouds and stuff like that.
No time for that.
I don't see it, I'm afraid. I wish I did.
Do you think there is something after you die?
I don't know. I mean, evident.
But do you think or hope or wish or...
It would be great to think that I would see my gran again, somewhere. But, you know, I live now, in the here and now. I can't allow myself to believe that everything's going to be all right in the afterlife, because it may and it might not be. I make it all right now, today and tomorrow. Not even yesterday, just today and tomorrow.
Suppose, Noel, it is all true. When you get there to the pearly gates and he, stroke she, is standing in front of you, what will you say?
I'd say, you've heard Don't Look Back in Anger, right? And they'd say, of course. And I'd say, well, look, it's me. Let us in. I can play a tune. I robbed some stuff. I took a lot of drugs. But I'm all right. I can write a song. Let us in. I can't play the harp, though.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Nice one.
Well, tomorrow night at 9:35, here on RTE1, we take a sensitive look at the morally, ethically and legally challenging issues of assisted suicide and euthanasia in A Time to Die. Next tonight, though, it's A Week in Politics.